Hello everyone, how you doing? And today we're going to look at my Fuji X-M5 and we're going to look at it in a few different forms. You know, I've been teasing this cinema rig build and today we're going to build that out, and I think you're going to be shocked at how cheap it is to build a cinema rig for this tiny camera. Now, this cinema rig build is not to be used all the time because it's a very small camera and I love it for that, you know, for the travel aspect, putting it in your pocket and all of those kind of things where you can just run and gun with it. It's absolutely amazing for, you know, its size. I do plan to use this for a lot more than just, you know, travel and, you know, vlogs and stuff. I do want to use it for cinema, but I don't want to spend a lot of money rigging this out in a cinema build. So we're going to go through that now, and I think you're going to be surprised at how much this stuff costs because it's really cheap, to be honest, to build it out. And I'm going to put all the prices down here. So as we go along, you're going to see things that I add, the prices will come up. So the first thing I want to show you is how I would use it in a normal everyday scenario. So this would be probably the main thing I would use. This small rig grip here, an L bracket with a mini Arca Swiss and a little rubber grip. And I love this. This is perfect for the XM5. And if you're going to buy anything, a cage, a grip, handle, I don't know, this should be the first thing you get. So let's put this on now. And as I said, this is going to be for your everyday run and gun, just to make it more comfortable and something you can use very easily. So this would be something that you'd use every day, very easy to use, very nimble, can still fit in a small bag or pocket. And yeah, this is probably one of my favorites and how it's going to be most of the time. Now this little cage here does come with a few extras when you buy it. You get this metal cold shoe here, and you also get one of the red buttons, which I've shown before in the video as well. I've got a gold one in here at the moment, but yeah, you do get those in the box as well. Like I said, this is one of the main things that you'd want to get. This grip is quite small. It's really good, but it's quite small. So by the time you put a lens on it, if you're using like a bigger lens, you can see how tight the gap is inside there. So it's nice, but a lens any bigger than this, you might find yourself in a bit of problems. And it's still a bit small. If you've got bigger hands, because obviously my hands is going to be much bigger than the whole camera. If you've still got bigger hands, this might be a bit of a problem. So I've asked SmallRig if they can make different types of grips. And I've sent them the image of this grip here, which myself and Simon designed. So let me put this on to show you how it looks. So we're just going to remove these two screws here at the bottom. And then the rubber grip comes off with no damage to the grip at all. You can put that back on whenever you want. Then you would get the grip that we've designed and then just put that on. And then I'm just going to screw this one down. So that's the new grip which we designed, and you can see it's not much larger than the original. If I put the original up next to it, but you can see just that little piece extra on the end can give you such a better grip on this. You get a much wider grip if you've got bigger hands and easy to carry around. So much more nimble. Now if you want to try this out, we've got an STL that we've put on the website, so you can go there and download it, link down below. And yeah, let me know what you think of it. I've printed it in the bumpy skin, the fuzzy skin, to match the actual camera, but it did cause some problems in the fitment. So you might want to print this just normally, unless you know how to separate the fuzzy skin from the normal smooth skin. But yeah, that's the handle which we made, and I really love it. Kind of brings it like an FX3 style, but not having too much bulk or adding too much size to the camera. So I'm going to ask SmallRig if they can produce this and a proper one, and hopefully we can get something nice. I mean, this works really well, but yeah, this is the grip that we made. So that's the XM5 as a travel little tiny camera that you can take anywhere. And now we're going to look at it in its cine form for studio work and for cinema. Let's get into it. So now we're going to get onto the cinema build, and I'm going to take this cage off because we're going to be using this SmallRig cage, which I spoke about in a different review. Okay, so let's get the cage on now. So there we have the main cage, which is going to hold everything together. So the first one I want you to see is that we've got one of these little rubber sticky buttons on the back here. This is because the Q button, whether you're using a cage or not, is quite deep and pressed inside. So you might want to grab a pack of these and you can stick it over the Q button, and they're so much easier to press when you've got that on there. You can just get these in a pack from Amazon, and I will put a link in the description down below. Okay, so first of all, we're going to get this cheese plate on, and this one goes on the bottom. You put it inside the end holes here so you can adjust it, and as I said, all links will be down in the info section. I'm not going to do that up too tight yet because I need to adjust it for the battery pack here. Okay, so I've had this battery pack for a long time now, and they're quite hard to find now actually, but I'm going to put a link down to one that's got the little quarter 20s at the bottom, because you will need the quarter 20s to build this cage out. And that is just going to go on there like so. Okay, so that's all done. That's not actually done up tight yet. Everything can still move around because I'm going to adjust this in a minute. And also you might have noticed that I've got a little small rig cold shoe mount in there, and I'll show you what that's for in a second. I forgot to say that make sure your screen is open before you put these cheese plates on the bottom, okay? Because otherwise you won't be able to open it. So make sure the screen is open first. Okay, so now let's align this all up, and to do that we're going to put the top cheese plate on first. So this one is going to go on that way, just like that. Okay, so once that's all tight on, then we should be able to align this whole thing here. Okay, so then once we've aligned it all, now we can start tightening this one up at the bottom. Let's just move this over a little bit so we can get the battery door open, so we can change memory cards as well. So open the battery door, make sure that can open, and then we'll tighten from there. And now, because the battery can slide over, we can perfectly align this so it's all in the middle. So let's tighten the NPF plate up now. So now you can see why we needed the NPF with the holes at the bottom. Now, I'm sure there's other ways you can do this, but this is the way I found, which I like, and that is cleaner. And we must be able to adjust it both ends because we need to open the battery door to get batteries in and out. I've also got a dummy battery, so we're going to put that in and pull that over. Okay, looks like we're getting there, we're getting there. Now, I've got the Fujifilm battery. These retail at $169, but I suggest you look around and see if you can find it cheaper. I bought this used, but it came pretty much brand new from Wex, and I paid £79 for this. So this is going to give me much longer run times. Not that I've gone into heating problems, but this will give me much longer run times. Now we're going to start assembling the top. So the first thing we're going to do is put this NATO rail on the top here. I'm going to have to use 2 different screw heads because I'm running out. And make sure you've got enough room to press the record button or shutter button. You don't have to go this long, but I'm going to show you why it's a good idea to get a long one like this. A smaller one would obviously give you a lot more clearance here, but as I said, you'll see in a second why I've gone for a long one. Then we're going to put on these rods here. So this is a Tilta rod holder. So it's got a NATO rail on the bottom, and it's got the rod holder on top. And the rods I'm using are some Cine carbon fiber rods. So one is just going to go on one side, and one goes on this side here. So now you can kind of see why I needed a longer NATO rail. Because if we didn't have a longer NATO rail, you wouldn't be able to do up the 2 screws in the middle. And then we're going to put on the top handle, and this is a top handle from AliExpress. And again, prices are all here, so you can see them. So let's get that one on. I love D-shaped handles. It just feels so much safer when you're running around, you know. Now, obviously, if you're not going to use the rails and stuff like that, then you can get this handle a bit further forward. And then from there, we just need to get our microphone. And this microphone goes in the back here on this cold shoe. So now you can see why I put the, you can see why I put it there. Okay, so next we're going to go for lenses. Now I could use a normal Fuji lens, but I'm going to be using the 50mm Mikey lens here, f1.4. And to get that full frame look, we're going to use a Viltrox speed booster. Now you got a Pixis 6K. Does everything a Pixis will do. Let's put that on, and then let's get this lens on. And you can see this lens has been heavily modified. It was black when I first got it, and I stripped it down, and then I had it engraved by Filmatura. So I sent it off to him, and he engraved the whole lot for me to give it a nice, yeah, different look. This is my favorite lens. I would never sell this lens, and I wanted to have something a bit different. Okay, so next we need to put on a battery, and we're gonna go for a 750 here. So let's put that in the back. And that's come on now, so you can start to see the rig is actually taking shape. And then we have the piece de resistance, which is the Cine monitor. Now this one's looking a bit battered because I've been playing around with this and doing a few bits and pieces. But yeah, this is a little tiny affordable monitor that we built just to keep things lightweight and affordable, you know, for the XM5 should you want to do cinema. And this is very easy to construct. We're going to put a guide on the website, but I don't think you really need it, because once you've printed out the 3 pieces, you get the back part, you put the screen in, you've got the middle frame, and then you just stick down the top frame. It's so easy to do. Now, this version, what we're going to put out for you guys, has the USB and HDMI. But if you do want us to have a modification like this one here, where the cables come out the side or come out the back like the Pixis, then let me know, and then we can just do a quick modification. The 1/4-20 hole is down the bottom here, and I've got mine on a small rig NATO rail with 15mm rod. So yeah, very easy to construct. So the STL, for this one, we're charging £5 for this STL. And you know, then the screen, you can go on to AliExpress and buy it for around, I don't know, it's maybe about £25, £28. So it should cost you under £35 or dollars to build this monitor. It's a 1000 nit monitor as well. Very nice detail, nice clarity. So let's get this on. So I'm going to put the rod through this hole here, the 15mm rod hole. So I've got the rod holder in there now. Let me just tighten that up. And then I will put this on. Now, like I said, you can use any type of monitor mount you want, but I like this one because it keeps it kind of low profile and yeah, just easier to move up and down. Let me put this on here. I'm not going to do it up too tight so I can swivel it easy. And then from there, I will just run the cables. I've got a USB extension here, so I can put the extension cable for the monitor power just slightly out of the way. Then we're going to plug the monitor cable, power cable in. Let's close that up. And then the HDMI cable is I've got a ribbon HDMI cable here, which is for FPV cables. And then that would come around here and straight into the HDMI. And then from there you can use, you know, your cable clamps or put your handle on or do anything you want here. And that's it. That is the rig built out. So now looking at this camera has a full frame look. It shoots 6.2K open gate. We have a 1000 nit tiltable monitor. We have 32-bit float audio, and it can run for hours just on this little simple setup here. So if I just turn it on, you're going to see the whole thing come on. And now we're ready to shoot 6.2K open gate. So that's it, guys, the 6K open gate little mini Cine rig that's very affordable with a full frame look. Absolutely fantastic. If there was one thing I would say, which I don't like about this rig, is that because the top handle is only fixed to the front of the cage, you do get a little bit of flex, but there's no way that's going to snap or do anything or cause you to have any shaky footage. It works absolutely fantastic. And yeah, for the low price, you don't have to go crazy to have your little cinema rig. And let me know what you think of the grip that we made for the camera as well, because that would be very handy. I know it's going to be very handy for me, but let me know what you think about it and if small rig should make one. And yeah, just have fun and just go out and shoot. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.